Hello, today is the fourth Sunday of Easter. Our first reading is from Acts chapter 4, verses 8 through 12. Our psalm is Psalm 118. Our second reading is from the first letter of John, chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. And our gospel is from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 11 through 18. We are builders. From the beginning of time, man has always wanted to stack one rock on top of another rock, to make something bigger, something grander. Ancient peoples built pyramids, temples, colosseums, roads. Kings built palaces and castles, walls and fortifications. We humans have built structure after structure, monument after monument, city after city. One thing falls down, and we build another on its ruins, bigger and better, always more. And we've become so adept at building over the years. We build and we build, always improving and expanding our craft, always honing our building skills. Being the best builders, we take the best materials and the best technicians and we build the best stuff. And how do we select the best materials? The very best stones? What makes for a good stone in our buildings? And what would cause a stone to not be considered good enough and to in fact be rejected? Well, obviously a good stone, a good construction stone for building a structure, a house, or a building, or a wall, would need to be strong and sturdy. It would need to be unbending, unyielding. It would need to be well shapen, smooth edges with sharp corners. It would need to fit nicely and comfortably with the other stones. A regular squared off shape that easily conforms and fits in with the other stones. It would fit nicely in a box because of its perfect shape and structure. There would be no surprises with a good stone. You can easily discern where a good stone or a perfect stone is going to fit in the pattern. A good stone doesn't really stand out from the other stones. They all lock into place. They lock together and become an impenetrable barrier, a bulwark against the outside, against the forces of nature, against rain, wind, the weather, also against outsiders. A good strong wall built of good perfect stones creates perfect separation. It keeps what is inside the perimeter of the wall in, and it keeps what is outside the wall out. It provides safety and security for those inside the wall, protection from the outside forces and pressures. A good wall and the good stones that make it up help maintain the status quo, the normalcy, comforting regularity that we have come to expect. Good perfect stones making up good perfect walls is what makes our civilization, our society, even our religion possible. But what about the stones that don't fit? What do you do with a stone that won't conform to the shape that you need it to be? A stone that has different edges. A stone that isn't unbuilding and unyielding. A stone that is porous. A stone that lets in light and water and blood. His own blood, spilled on a cross, on a hill, above Jerusalem. A stone that doesn't keep things out, but instead invites everyone in. A stone that, to be honest with you, is terrible for wall building. A stone that questions human authority. A stone that questions the human builder. A stone that questions the concept of wall building altogether. A stone that said, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it." A stone that preached forgiveness and love and mercy. A stone that laid down his life for his sheep. A stone that doesn't make a very good barrier. A stone that's not good at keeping people out. What do you think we do with a stone like that? Our psalm says, and Peter reiterates in the first reading, that this stone, Jesus, is rejected by the builders, by humans. Jesus, this stone that is terrible for wall building, has become the cornerstone, the scripture says. This Jesus, this stone of love, mercy, and forgiveness, is the cornerstone of our faith, the cornerstone of our beliefs, the cornerstone of our lives. Of course, sometimes we still don't accept him. Just because he's the cornerstone doesn't mean that we accept his program. We sometimes feel like we have to work twice as hard on our end of the wall because Jesus is doing such a shoddy job of the wall building down on his corner. So we work twice as hard to shore up the walls of exclusion, the walls that keep the faithful from the sacraments, the walls that keep the lost, well, lost. The walls that work to counteract Jesus' message of love, inclusion, and hope, mercy, and salvation. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. I lay down my life for the sheep." I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold, and these also I must lead. They will hear my voice, and there will be one flock, one shepherd. Those sheep that we don't think belong, those sheep that hear Jesus calling to them, those sheep who are following the shepherd, those sheep are sometimes the ones we try hardest to keep out. Those sheep that we think shouldn't be here, they are what we're building walls for. Walls instead of bridges. Let Jesus be the cornerstone, not of a wall to keep people out, but of a bridge to bring people together. Let Jesus be the cornerstone of our faith, a faith built on love, mercy, and forgiveness. Don't reject the stone, Jesus, just because he won't build the wall that you want him to build. Let him help you build a bridge instead.